Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janet and welcome to the Called to Create podcast. I am here to help you ladies unlock your creative potential and use your God-given gifts and start a business. Because you were called to create and you have so much to share, and the world needs your creative gifts to be shared right now, ladies. Let's do this. And I am so excited that I can actually talk about these things. I love talking about all the things that you can do and create. And, not only if you have a business, but in your life too. I just love talking about creativity as well. That's my favorite thing. I want to share that with you too because you can actually, believe it or not, create anything you want. We have so much freedom and we have so much technology to help us create, and just the resources that are available are just amazing. So I hope that you are taking good care of yourself and enjoying your day. Even though life can be tough, there are moments where we can actually make our day something to be remembered and something good. It's interesting how we have a choice in our life. We can choose to look at things from a broad perspective, and we can choose what we want to believe and choose what we want to do. And we can choose, the possibilities of what you can choose are amazing. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. So today I wanted to talk about how to get started. Now, I know I've kind of talked a little bit about it, but today it's going to be a little bit different in what I'm going to share, because these are not things that you would normally think about when you're trying to get started with a business. But one of the things is that you have to focus on the big vision, and you have to really make time every day to focus on what it is that you're trying to create and what you want. And it's interesting because if you're not used to thinking big, or you can't even imagine what you want, then take the time today to imagine what it is that you want to create. And if you're not ready to start a business yet, then imagine what kind of life you want to create if you're not really happy with what you have now. And it just takes a little bit of time. You don't have to spend hours and hours on end just trying to imagine and create a big vision for yourself. You have to allow yourself to dream and to think about what you really want. And the other thing I want to talk about is that you do have to have supportive people around you. You have to surround yourself with those that are going to get excited with you about your dream or about what you want to do or what you're trying to create. And I've said this before, but a lot of times your family, your immediate family that you live with, they may not always be supportive. And that's just how it is. That's a fact of life. There are some families that are not like that. So in that case, because it's not always easy right now to just go and visit your friends or people who you know are going to be supportive, reach out to those people. Maybe it's just your good friends or maybe cousins. Usually cousins are very supportive. But reach out to those people who are going to support you and cheer you on and get you excited, and find those people who are going to want to hear about all that you're dreaming about and what you want to do. And even if you can't go and see them, you can actually go and do a FaceTime, or you can do Zoom, or any of these things that are available to us. Reach out so that if you can't physically be with somebody to share what you're doing, then you can do it over technology. And those are some of the things that I want you to do to get started. But there are so many more things. And one of the other things that I want you to do to get started on, if you want to create a business, is to reach out to all of the people that you know and tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you want to create and if they can support you. Do that in a text message, do that in an email, call them. Not too many people call anymore. I don't know why. Like, I'd rather talk on the phone and hear somebody's voice than do a text message. But I find that more and more people just prefer text messages, and it's fast and it's quick, right? You don't have to stay on the phone for a really long time. But reach out to all these people and tell them what you're doing, and if they can support you, and if they can let all their other friends and family know. That's one way of getting people interested and have them ready to hear what you're doing, because word of mouth is key. You know how when you go to a movie that you like absolutely love and you thought it was amazing, what is the first thing that you do when you come home from the movie? Or maybe even you're not even home yet. When you walk out of the movie, I know people, and I've thought about this too after a movie. I'm walking out of the theater and I'm thinking, oh, that was a great movie. I should tell so and so about it. And what do? You get out your phone and you text and you let people know that, especially like if you have family or friends who they would like really love the movie, and you would say, "Oh man, I just got out of watching this movie and it was amazing." And you go on to say why, right? So that's the effect that I want you to create when you contact people. So start off with your mom, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, anybody who you talk to regularly, or even people who you don't see regularly, co-workers, all of that. You let all of them know. I want you to do that today, because that's one thing that you have to start doing to start a business, is to let everybody know. Because what's going to happen is when they get excited about what you're doing, they're going to tell their other friends or their coworkers, and it just spreads, and it's just amazing what happens. It's that ripple effect that happens. And that's what you want to create. Okay, you want to create that ripple effect that just magically happens by itself. Okay, do that today. And even if it's not that you're ready to start a business right now, if you have a dream that you're wanting to pursue and you need people's help or whatever, do the same thing. Let these people know who you feel like can help you in whatever way, because we're all here to help each other on earth. Nobody is an island by themselves, right? We don't live on an island by ourselves. Like, I live on an island, but there's 1.5 million people that live here. So we all have to help each other. That's what makes the world a better place, and that's what makes the world go round. Especially with now the internet, you can reach people on the other side of the world. You're not just limited to your community. So start taking advantage of the technology that we have. Start using texting, email, call people, get online. If you have a Facebook or Instagram account, tell the people in your Facebook page or on your Instagram following, let them know what you're doing. And if you need help, ask for help. Okay, don't ever be shame, or don't ever feel like you don't want to bother people, because you're not bothering people. We all get excited for each other, especially when you have family and friends that care about you. We all get excited about what each other are doing. Okay, now, if you have family or friends that aren't supportive in that way, obviously you're not going to contact them in that way, but use all the resources that are available to you. Okay, that includes especially online, because online spreads really, really fast. Everything you post spreads really fast. So do that today. All right. So if you are ready to get started with a business and you want to know how to do it, I do have a business starter kit that you can download, and it'll help you get started. So click on the link in the show notes. And please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it. Or if you know anyone that wants to start a creative business, please send this podcast their way. I would really appreciate that. And I want to ask you a favor. If you can please take a minute, to rate and review this podcast. And if you're listening to this podcast in the Apple Podcast app, you can rate and review this show right there at the bottom. So as soon as you open my show, you can just scroll down all the way to the bottom and you can rate and review it right there, because reviews are so important and they tell potential listeners and Apple that this show is worth listening to. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And have a great day, ladies. Take care of yourself. Aloha.